We were out at a family event, and it felt like it was targeted, right? So when we were out, it was just like we came back home and we thought nothing of it. But then once I came upstairs, everything was just pulled out of the drawers. Everything in my room was completely like messed around, and it took a while for the cops to come, right? It took like what, I believe 3 hours for them to come.
You call 911.
Yeah. We reported the robbery and the break-in, and it took them 2.5 hours or 3 hours to come. It felt like literally it wasn't like an emergency, right?
We didn't know anybody was still in the house. Like, we didn't know that they were in the house or they weren't in the house. So we felt vulnerable because we didn't know if they were in the basement, if they were in the attic, where they went, where they had come in. I had no idea. Like, if anybody was in the house at the same time that we were there. We heard noises in the basement, but we didn't know who could possibly be down there. And it still took them that long to get here. Definitely, they were on the roof. They broke bathroom windows.
My bathroom window and her
my closet window.
window.
Yeah, and it appeared to be like a pellet gun.
It might have been a slingshot. I don't know.
A slingshot or a pellet gun, but it, something.
It was a large crack, so it must have been like a larger object. That's why I didn't think it was a BB gun.
Yeah.
And plus, we don't have neighbors to our side, right? So it must have been really easy. And then we also have that park path, right?
So they came down. Yeah, they came down the park path. And then they jumped our fence in the backyard, which we have a ravine.
Right, I saw this in the video.
Yeah, the ravine, and and they helped themselves.
Why did the police hold this for such a long time? Why they didn't want you to?
Well, we don't know that.
No, I do. They said that I wasn't supposed to interfere with their investigations. Their investigation is ongoing, and that they didn't want me to interfere with their investigations.
Okay.
So I waited, and then finally I said, look, I'd like to post pictures similar to the ones that I've posted in the past that got caught in Brampton, such as the one on Balmoral and Bramalea on Balmoral. We posted videos on Facebook and social media, and we were able to crack the case. Citizens cracking the case where we gave them leads. So I wanted to have the same type of response. The police did say that a lot of these criminals are coming in as guests. They're coming in from different countries, from Europe, India, Asia. They come in as guests.
Oh, you mean visitor?
Visitors, yes.
Oh, okay, got it.
And then they serve their crimes. They do their crimes, and then they leave. Prior to this incident, I was against guns. Period. End of story. Not even questionable. Now, I don't know that if I had a gun, that if somebody comes into my home, that I wouldn't shoot. They've crossed their line of defense. They're not coming for dinner. They're coming to harm you. Both my children are very paranoid, as they should be. If you look at the police, crime mapping, and you plug in break-ins, this is happening to the general public, the good people, the people that are going to work, the people that are leaving their children at home where you think home is safe. It's no longer safe. Not when you live in Brampton. Correct. So it's actually 7:33 p.m. that they entered. We left our home at 6 in the evening, exactly at 6 o'clock, 6:02. And then they entered our home at 7:33, and they remained in our house for at least 20 minutes. They were in the house for 20 minutes, and there was 4 individuals inside and 2 individuals outside.
But you have all the camera inside, alarm inside. How come they didn't bust for 20 minutes?
We have a dog in the house, so the perimeters were armed, but the inside was not armed because the motions were turned off because we have animals in the house. We've since changed that and made it all motion censored and pet immune. But what they did is they didn't break our window; they cut our window open. So had they broken our window, it would have triggered off the perimeter. Used the suction cup and cut the window. For sure there was 3 brown men and 1 white man that we could tell. The other 2 was unable to identify. There was not much more that we can do. I mean, we have the alarm, we have the video cameras, we have, we had a dog in the house at the time. it's alarming. And if you actually look, which I'm trying to find you right now, the Crime Stopper, the crime map, and to show you how many, break-ins happen in Brampton, that's the most alarming thing. Had I known that this was an epidemic in Brampton, then I would have probably put extra measures in place to protect us. I would be more alert and aware in our area, and so would the neighbors. I mean, we're all here to protect each other along with the police. But if the police don't tell the public that this is an epidemic happening in the Peel region, and I invite anybody to look at the Peel region crime map and plug in break-in, you would be alarmed to know how many on a daily basis. And it's not registered to a specific time, because most people think that you're getting broken into at night or after dark. It's happening during the day when people are at work. So it's basically crime statistic maps. So if you go to here, crime types, there's homicide, robberies, mugging, breaking and entering, auto theft, theft from vehicles, and mischief. And if you go and you basically go into breaking and entering, here are the search results. So basically on the 5th, there was one at 9:30 p.m. or 9:27 p.m. Here there was one on the 26th of May, again, Wilson Avenue in Brampton, at 2:49 a.m. This is a 3 o'clock a.m. Okay, so it's kind of discontinuing what I'm saying, but there are some that are happening during the afternoon. So here is a 4 o'clock on. So if you look on the 27th, just taking one day of the 27, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 robberies in Brampton in one day. And those are the ones that are just listed, and I don't know if this is accurate and if they haven't listed all of them. On the 28th, there's, again, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And all are morning, pretty much.
Yeah,
in the daylight.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, daylight. Yeah, you've got here at 6:30 p.m. You've got here at 2:30 p.m. You have here at 9:02 a.m. So breaking and entering, and these are all in Brampton. And I think that the residents of Brampton people need to know that this is happening at times that are not normally, suspected. Like at 6:18 p.m. Most people are home having dinner.
Right.
And in this case, there is a break-in and entering to a home. Most of them are homes, an apartment, houses. Like if CP24 or was reported to this by the police, I think people generally could help the police by being more alert and more aware. We can start neighborhood watches. But if we don't know that this is happening, then we can't help. So ideally, if the police would make this public and announce the numbers, then I think the neighbors and people, such as my neighbor, happened to be on his driveway while this was taking place. Unfortunately, it was our home that had to get broken into, but fortunately, no one got hurt. Had my son been home, I'm almost positive that he would either be in ICU or in a coffin today.
And you told about your daughter. Nowadays, you don't feel safe.
Absolutely. I've got 2 young adults. When they were younger, we would, take our children with us. At age 19 and age 21, they don't always want to go grocery shopping with you. They don't want to go out with you. So if you leave them at home, you're not even sure that you're going to be safe or have them completely safe at home, because any goon can basically come in and feel like they have the ability to do so. And most break-ins, such as ours, the police don't respond in a timely manner. I was told also by the police officers that, we could not use excessive force unless we felt threatened. And if we felt threatened, if we did have access to a gun, that we could shoot as long as we didn't hit them in the back. Because in the back indicated that they were running away and we shot anyways. So if they were coming towards us, the police officer did indicate to me that I have the right to protect myself using appropriate force. Now that appropriate force, I'm not sure what would be deemed appropriate. In my case, I have my first line of defense would be my gate. My second line of defense would be my fence around my 2-acre property. My third line of defense would be my windows and doors. And if if they've broken 3 lines of defense to get into my home, then I feel that I should have the right to defend myself in my home. I used to be against gun laws. I'm not so against gun laws anymore. I think that if, the right people have guns, I think there will be less crime in our
because
society.
criminals have it anyway.
That's right. We're put at a disadvantage. But at that moment, if somebody is in my home, such as the situation in Hamilton, I would have absolutely no reserve but to shoot to protect myself and my family. I have a daughter who's 18 years old, 19, and my son who's 21, and that is my job as a parent.
Of course.
I think that they're there to serve and protect. I think part of serving and protecting is to make people aware. We do this in the healthcare field, where if there is an outburst in a certain type of disease, that we post it and we say, pay attention to these symptoms. The police don't do the same to us. We're responsible in the healthcare field to put those diseases out in the open so that the public is aware. On the reverse, the police should also tell us when there is incidences of grand amounts of crime happening in a specific area so that we can protect ourselves.